Hello, my Pokemon trainers, Pokemon Uniters. Hope everyone's doing well. I haven't made a YouTube video in a while and I want to get back into it, so why not just start with a tier list? I know everyone loves a tier list. I love a tier list in particular, I really do. So I thought it'd be pretty interesting, and I haven't really seen too many people make tier lists for the new season, so let's get into it. To start, Venusaur, oh my goodness. With that change to level 7 evolution, I don't know if it was just that or people are just playing more Venusaur and highlighting its power. Oh my goodness, I feel like that made Venusaur like top 5. I really do. It's so goated now. Hits so hard, I'm getting beamed, I'm just getting run down. Like, this Pokemon is a good leader. You know, the legendary Pokemon are the quote-unquote leaders of the team. This is like, I feel like Venusaur is like that leader now, so he's pretty crazy. Gengar, I feel like is so matchup based. If your kit gets absorbed by in particular, the whole Dream Eater Shadow Ball thing, because I feel like people use that one a bit more. If those hits get absorbed by like a Slowbro and they get used and he doesn't die, oh my goodness, you're just insta dead. I know a lot of people say this Pokemon's amazing, like broken, very good, but I mean, I really feel like if there's too many defenders on the other team, he just goes down to like this tier. But I would say he's like, because of that, you know, just average game, I'm gonna put him in the middle because he can be great or he can just get dismissed. Like, he can get dismissed. So I think it goes both ways. Mr. Mime, I really like Mr. Mime. I don't use too much of the swap moveset, but I personally feel like the barrier moveset is really good. I actually like to run, I think it's barrier and psychic. I feel like he's just pretty good. You can do pretty cheeky things with this Pokemon. Decent damage. Unite move isn't like the greatest, but it can be used properly. I feel like the Pokemon's pretty good. I almost want to say like A tier in the right hands, but because of that, like, I'm just gonna put it on the average character play level, so I'm gonna say B tier. Snorlax, I feel the same way. Like, in the right hands, can be annoyingly good. Early game literally is so hard to win a mob fight against. He could just eat everything in the final hit, and that's really annoying. Like, can really just take all the Pokemon in the early game with a good body bump. So, but I feel like he scales well to the late game. Interesting moves, like, depending on how you want to play him, he fits a lot of different play styles. I feel like he can get kind of evaporated by certain long range squishies who just deal a lot of good damage, like long range attackers. Hit him with the right move a couple of times, he can get nullified. But overall, I do feel like he's pretty good. Like, not a bad pick Pokemon at all. Gardevoir, I want to say is another like solid, well, good B tier Pokemon. I think at level 5, this Pokemon is actually really good. Like, as a jungler, I feel like it's underrated. The Psychic, Rock Slam, like, whatever, I think it's Psychic, I can't remember, but the moveset where she slams all the rocks down on you, I feel like is so good. Increases your speed slightly while you're doing it, which makes her like really clutch at times. I just feel like the Pokemon has so much clutch ability. Great Unite move, still one of the best Unite moves in the game. Like, underrated Unite move, just goes underrated because not a lot of people play the Pokemon. And it's a little bit easy to miss, but I feel like the Pokemon is just weirdly good. I almost want to say A tier once again, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna put it at B tier, a high B tier for sure. That's for sure. Absol, Absol got a buff. I want to say it was pretty recently. You know, it was definitely pretty recently. Absol's definitely good. Hits hard, cleans people out. Still very squishy, but I feel like people honestly who play this Pokemon tend to like want to have good mechanics. They tend to have good skill, and they really show the power of the Pokemon. You know, when this Pokemon hits you from behind, it does even more damage. And what are you doing? You know, when it hits you, or like when you see an Absol, you might start running away just out of instinct, and then it takes advantage of people's natural instincts. So that's something that I also can give the Pokemon credit for. Like, it's really good in that way. So yeah, definitely one of the better speedsters. Garchomp. Garchomp, I feel like he's not. Okay, Garchomp has a godlike Unite move, but I just feel like the map hurt Garchomp so badly. Like, the map change, obviously, from the old map to the new map. This was, you know, the map was changed like a year ago plus at this point, so people just tend to even forget the old map. But I feel like the size of this map actually makes Garchomp one of the low B tier Pokemon. Definitely hurts it. It can still do well. It still shreds objectives when, especially if no one's there. Like, hey, Garchomp can go down and take care of the Reggies. If everyone is fighting a different Reggie or in a different spot, Garchomp could like solo a Reggie. Even start is one of the few Pokemon who can start Rayquaza, because Rayquaza has a ton of health. Can be hard to even get a footing on sometimes, and Garchomp can take a bit of damage. And once again, great Unite move. So I feel like this Pokemon can be used at a high level. I actually like have a low-key like a 70% win rate with Garchomp, so I spent a lot of time playing him back in the day, but I do feel like the map change just hurt this Pokemon so badly, and then any ranged Pokemon that gets added just bodies this Pokemon like so badly. Pokemon like Glaceon, Ninetales, I feel like ironically ice types, the ranged ice types, just eat up Garchomp for breakfast, make him really hard to get in the neutral and do what he needs to do, but can still be used to effective ways. I feel like personally, I'm not good with Lucario, I never have been, but whenever I see clips of this Pokemon on Twitter, I see montages, this Pokemon seems to be able to do work. I don't know how. I've never been a Lucario like specialist who can just get things done, but I don't know. People just show that this Pokemon has value. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. But like I said, I see clips. I see a lot of stuff. I post clips every day on the channel, and a lot of them, I see a lot of good Lucario plays. Like, Lucario just seems to be able to do work. Maybe I'm, if I'm wrong, definitely tell me in the comments. I would love to know, but I think Lucario's pretty damn good. Crustle. Dude, Crustle is the attack type defender. Like, he can just bop your boys. I feel like if there's squishies around, he's so threatening. And he's, like, one of the fastest Pokemon in the game. So the attacks are, like if a Decidueye is, like, carrying all game, it shows up to Rayquaza at level 14. Especially in terms of endgame, like, Crustle, he takes up space. He can rush people down because he has speed. So he can get in before they kill them. And then he can just swaps the slash. Oh my goodness, like, and it keeps you stunned the whole time. He's just like Trevenant, like, he can just get in, he can stun you and hit you for a lot of good damage, and it like he has game-changing abilities. I feel like I really do feel like Crustle is you have the potential to make a big play with him, especially when it matters. He might not be good like throughout the whole game, but because of his end game ability alone, I feel like he can just, I don't know, I feel like Crustle is really good. I'm not sure if he got a buff in some recent time, but he seems pretty good. Greninja. Dude, I feel like Greninja is hard to play. Like, don't get me wrong, I've actually gotten bodied by Greninja recently. The Unite move is still really good. He can definitely still do damage, but man, I don't know what it is. Like, it's like, I want to say Water Shuriken doesn't do that much damage. It can obviously still be used effectively. He's like he can be tricky in terms of putting up the clones, and if someone wastes their like moveset on one of the clones, that could be really bad. You can put up a smoke screen, that can kind of mess people up. But I feel like I don't know. I've seen people play the Pokemon at an A tier level, definitely not S, and I feel like, I don't know. There's something about Greninja. I don't even want to say he needs a buff, because I remember great Greninja, and when he was running things way back in the day. I don't know. This Pokemon just doesn't seem to do it for me anymore. It used to be one of my favorites, but I'm not sure. Surf is okay, but I mean, if you don't get resets, and it seems harder and harder to get resets every day, there's more power creep put in the game all the time. There's more health put in the game all the time. It's just tough for me to really put him up at a higher level, but I don't think he's unusable. Talonflame. Talonflame is so up or down, man. If you are not ahead, and like, he can just, it's like Brave Bird is one of my favorite movesets ever. Fly is still really good to this day. Definitely just gets rid of a lot of weaker Pokemon. But oh my goodness, I feel like if you're not ahead and if your team isn't ahead, this Pokemon is useless. Like, if you guys are all level 10 and they're like breaking that gap to level 12, 13, oh my goodness, good luck. Like, there's like nothing, you're not gonna make a difference. I feel like the Unite move still isn't that great. Yeah, I feel like, but like I said, if you're ahead, if you're not ahead, terrible time. If you are ahead, you better stay ahead, because you don't want to throw away your level. But this Pokemon is good if you guys are doing well. Charizard recently buffed with the level 7 increase. I haven't seen like that Venusaur level output, so I want to say this Pokemon is like a high B tier because it's like his Unite move is still one of the best Unite moves in the game. I feel like he can just decide who he wants to get rid of in the late game. Like, oh, you've been grinding all game, you're level 14, okay, now get grabbed, like get submissioned, and then you're just toast. Like if you're a Squishy, if you're a Decidueye, if you're a Greninja, you're a Glaceon, like it doesn't matter, you got grabbed, you are now toasted, have fun. So one of your team leaders, quote unquote, can just be destroyed in the end game, and that could really set you guys up for failure. So great Unite move, maybe not the best moves outside of that, but definitely the Unite move almost keeps this Pokemon in a weirdly viable place in a weird way, at least in rank. I never see him in tournament, but that kind of makes sense. But still, I think the Pokemon's pretty good. Zeraora. Zera, I'm not sure. Zera is... he's up and down, same way. Like, Discharge is pretty good. The evasiveness of the teleport move, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that can be used pretty well. I think it's called Volt Switch, actually. Yeah, pretty good. Not... I don't think it's Absol-ish anymore. I don't think it has, like, that type of killer power and that type of attack ability, but definitely still a viable speedster. Like, don't sleep on Zera, because you could just start getting destroyed. Wild Charge has always been a pretty good move set to me, too. So yeah, still pretty good Pokemon. Not crazy, not terrible, but I think, honestly, a very good speedster. Cinderace, Cinder, I feel like if, like I say, if this Pokemon gets ahead and the team is also good, like has other defenders to keep it stable or keep it around, the auto attacks just start doing work to you, especially in the late game. Like, they just start doing work. The Unite move isn't horrible, but can still somehow, can still secure that like last hit, that last finesse on Rayquaza. Yeah, still just like this Pokemon can just use correctly. I've been fainted a few times where it's like, I'm gonna finish him, then they feint out and kind of waste my move. So good attack, slight avoidability, not the greatest, but has potential for outplays because it has mobility, it has attack, it has that type of stuff. So I'm gonna give it credit, definitely. Let's see, Eldegoss. I don't know what Eldegoss does anymore. Not bad, because I do like the Unite move. I think the Unite move is actually low-key a super clutch Unite move. Can heal the team for that big like 3,000 chunk in the end game. But I don't know what the Pokemon does like better than... is it a better healer than Blissey or Clefable? I could not say so to any degree. Like, no way. No way, no way. I feel like the Pokemon is normally usable. I actually like using it because I do like using the Speed Boost moveset. But I don't think it I don't think it does its role better than some of the other healers do currently. I could not say that. I actually want to mix it up, go to the bottom real quick, because, man, Mimikyu is like so S. I don't even, like, so S. Man, this Pokemon, I wanted to make a video on how Play Rough and Trick Room needed a buff, but my mic was broken at the time. So, I got a new mic, and this Pokemon got a buff in that time, and oh my god. Play Rough went from being literally terrible to amazing. Like, invulnerability during the move made it so hard to do anything against. Shadow Sneak just gets on you, hurts so bad. This Pokemon actually backlined me in Rayquaza a couple days ago, or just in the end game. I see this Pokemon is like all of a sudden in our backline. Shadow Sneak, the second I saw Shadow Sneak on me, oh my goodness, I was dead. I was level 15 Glaceon, I was going crazy, I had 15 kills, I'm, carrying my team. Shadow Sneak, game over, we lose, because I was the quote-unquote team leader, and we just lost. Like, Pokemon's really good. I think Trick Room still is not very good, but it doesn't matter. Just run Shadow Sneak and Play Rough or Shadow Claw. It doesn't even matter. Pokemon is good. Like, the Pokemon is great. Blaziken, I want to say a high B tier. Like, low A, high B. I don't know. The Pokemon is actually pretty good. Like, because I think the Combuskin is actually kind of good when you're like when everyone's level 6, level 7. That Pokemon in particular seems to have like good damage and a good like the whatever the kick move is. It is when everyone is around that level, it's pretty good at finishing people and getting a lead on people. I don't think the Pokemon is like great because the once again the stronger kick move when it keeps it like rooted, and I think it's overheat is what it is. Man, like that move is good, but like it's hard. It's so hard to make sure you get value out of and don't just get yourself killed for using it. But I do think people who use the Pokemon have shown its power and shown how strong it can be. So I'll definitely give it credit. Maybe it's high B tier, but I've seen people get value out of this Pokemon pretty repeatedly. So I'm gonna give it credit and give it like a low A tier. I guess in a way this is like weirdly ordered in my mind. If I was to like change some orders, I think everything is, yeah, like it's soft. Let's just say this tier list is soft order. Mewtwo Y. I know it got the nerf and there was the whole like Mewtwo Y oppression era. We're done with that. But do I still think this Pokemon's really good? Like really good because of the Unite move, and I mean the Mega Form is so deadly, dude. Like deadly. This gotta be like the best A tier Pokemon. Like it's just so deadly, so deadly. I want to say this is low S, like low S to me. I know people don't say it's at that level anymore, but this Pokemon's low S in my opinion. That Unite move is so deadly, oh my goodness, and it just, when it Mega Evolves at the right time, oh my goodness, if you don't get rid of it, and you let it live out its entire Mega Evolution, it's going to destroy defenders, squishies, like it's gonna destroy them. That's the sign of a good Pokemon, is if you're an attacker who can beat defenders, and you can get rid of those high HP targets to get to the squishies, oh my goodness, this Pokemon is a problem, like an absolute menace. I feel like it's still, like, not insane how it used to be, but I do think it's good. I think it's one of the better Pokemon in the game. I absolutely do. Now, do I feel the same way about Mewtwo X? Yeah. I mean, yank you in, and if it's a Mega Evolved, good luck. Like, you're not gonna have a good time. I think it's better than Mewtwo Y in the current phase of the game. I really do. Like, yeah, I think just everything I said about the last Mewtwo applies to this one. It just, whatever it's doing, it does it good. Pulls you in, destroys you. Unite move, in my opinion, best in the game. Not like completely ultra oppressive like it used to be, but if you're facing a team where the Mewtwo is ahead, or they're ahead in general, and they also just have a Mewtwo chilling, like, yeah, good luck. This Pokemon is gonna get like 3-4Ks on you, really make you guys hurt, like possibly Penta you guys, so yeah, good luck. Inteleon. I feel like Inteleon, people have been ranting about this Pokemon for a little while. It sees a squishy, one touch of a button, and pew 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 pew. Good night, sayonara, like, good night, buddy. Unite move, I think, is underratedly powerful, like allowing its auto attacks to just suddenly hit 2,000 per shot, especially in the late game where things are very clustered and you guys are all together, is when it really shows its power. It can just activate its Unite move and start pressing A and just start doing its thing. It doesn't even need to, because I feel like the problem with Liquidation is maybe, let's say you hit a tank and it doesn't get rid of them, and then you're waiting for your cooldowns to come back, but the Unite move solves that problem by being able to get rid of a tank by just pressing A, and then you can save Liquidation for getting rid of the Decidueyes, the Leafeons, if people still play Dragapult, then I'd say Dragapult, but even then, someone like a Dragapult, they can't run away from the shot, you use it, hey, you're locked, that's it, game. So I think Inteleon's one of the low-key, like, greats, definitely a great Pokemon. Leafeon, I think, is really good, like, really, really good all game. Really, 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 really good. And then in the late game, at the Rayquaza fight, I think it struggles horrendously. Like, it struggles to do damage without dying. So many times do I do really, like, insane, like, laning Pokemon. It just shows up, can shred people, shred them. Doesn't need a jungle, doesn't need whatever, just can shred them with a Leaf Blade. And, like, it just destroys them. But in the late fight, it when it dives in, it's so susceptible to being destroyed after it uses its moves. Even if it gets a couple KOs, which is like, okay, cool, I got some KOs, I got 2 KOs, but I died, it can be a little alarming. It just struggles to survive the Rayquaza fight, is really what I mean. Great laning Pokemon, but absolutely struggles to survive the Rayquaza fight. That's like an absolute, like, I don't know. I've noticed that in my personal opinion. Alright. Umbreon. Dude, I'm sorry. Umbreon Mean Look. Mean Look is still one of the greats. One of the greats, man. Especially for with assisting Venusaur in a Solar Beam type moveset. Mean Look is one of the greats. It also assists Mewtwo, it also assists Mimikyu, just landing the hits, people not being able to get away. It Pokemon's trying to run back to goal and get that extra health. Mean Look. Oh no, I'm not gonna make it. Now I'm done for. Yeah, I just think this is the ultimate assist. Like, you cannot ask for a better move to assist Pokemon who are good at winning the game. So that alone to me makes it one of the best Pokemon in the game. It just is the ultimate assist. I do like using the other moveset. It's more fun, foul play and whatnot. But dude, Mean Look, but one of top 3 moves in the game. Mean Look is just so goated. It's disgusting. Chandelure I actually think is amazing at like a early laning phase, like level 5. It really gets that huge power boost, can kind of like start imposing its strength and like start showing its like power at that time. But I think the Unite move literally holds this Pokemon back so badly. The darkness cover thing is really good, blinding people, that's like really good. But using the laser, ugh, man, it's like the laser is not that great. It doesn't do good damage. A little finicky to aim, a little funky. It just doesn't like destroy people, which is like fair. I don't want it just destroying me. But I think the moves are like the general moves, the room it makes. I think it's Poltergeist. I can't remember exactly what it's called, where it slows everyone, and the other like the overheat or throws the flames. Good moves. Flamethrower, good move, but the Unite move holds this Pokemon back. I would definitely say like the middle of B tier. I think better than better than Garchomp. It's just a good ranged Pokemon. Not great, not terrible by any means, totally playable. But the Unite move, you better make sure you don't do something stupid with the Unite move and get yourself killed in the final fight to make all the 8 minutes of play you just did worth nothing, because you absolutely can do that. Like, more often than not, you absolutely can do that. Lapras, I think, is a nice low A tier, or a nice, I would say not even low A tier, like nice mid dependable like A tier Pokemon. God, Lapras has seen so many nerfs, like nothing but nerfs to Perish Song and other moves, but I still think the speed at which the Unite move comes back makes it very good, causes a little bit of displacement, and overall with it just being a tank who can actually be in the final fight and cause problems and ice people, and Perish Song is still good in my opinion. Like, it still does good damage, you can still get those executes, that 10%, and just finish people. So I think the Pokemon is still good, not brokenly amazing, but hey, can like absolutely, just show its strength and doesn't get like bullied because it has like good HP, good defense. So definitely good Pokemon, definitely a good pick if you want to like climb ladder, things like that. Say, well, Zacian, I call him Zacian. I know it's way off. I'm pretty sure it's Zacian. This Pokemon, people still say it's up here. I don't think so personally. I think it just like loses to range, and it's not like it doesn't hit in the way that it used to. I think this is just a good Pokemon but I just feel like Inteleon beats it. I feel like Mewtwo beats it. I feel like Mimikyu beats it. I feel like Venusaur beats it. I feel like even Absol kind of beats it. Like, it takes too much damage. To me, personally, it takes too much damage, and it's not the most evasive Pokemon. Kind of has to get in there like Garchomp. It's better than Garchomp, I feel like. But is it, like, broken? I don't know. I don't see people just doing that work with this Pokemon like they used to. But I would still say it's pretty good, but has weaknesses, gets hit hard, because it has to put itself in danger to do good damage. Now, I used to be the biggest Goodra believer, but I think Goodra is just a high B tier right now, because they put in items that beat Gutra with the Bangle and it just like beats healing, lowers like healing effects in general, and Umbreon being put in the game shortly after Gudra has made it so like, oh Gudra, you're gonna stack yourself with ridiculous amounts of shields. Well, if you pick Gudra and you have a body barrier, all this defense, whatever, and you're going to the final fight as Rayquaza, and if they happen to have an Umbreon on the other team, if you unite before Umbreon, then you lose. Bottom line, you lose. You actually hurt your team so badly. You gave literally thousands of HP worth of shields to Umbreon immediately. So I just feel, and Umbreon's a popular pick. It's not like Umbreon's like this rare, highly technical Pokemon that no one uses. Like, no, Umbreon's around all the time. So if you do that, that's why I just feel like this one Pokemon and a couple items has knocked Gudra down to B tier, when before I used to think Gudra was up here. You could stack yourself so hard with shields in the late game and go crazy. And the Pokemon has good attack power and like good utility, because the Sludge is really good. Muddy Water to lower people's attack by like, I don't remember how much percent, but it lowers their attack by a good amount of percent as well. But no. With those things in the game, like Gudra took a big hit and isn't like as dominantly, secretly powerful as it used to be. Comfey, the other strong assist Pokemon. Now, not on the, I'm gonna say it's like, I just feel like this Pokemon's A tier. You know, it links up with the Mewtwo, links up with any leader on the team, any leader type Pokemon, with the Zacian, with the Lucario, any good, like, all-arounder, links up with an Azumarill, things like that. It's good. It's just gonna help the Pokemon do what it needs to do, like, bottom line. But it does take up a spot of another attacker or defender on the team, so that can be a problem, like, can be, but it still helps. Like, even it links up with a Crustle, which is good. Like, it is a good Pokemon to have for team situations. It just, bottom line, like, it's really just that simple. The stuns it can provide, that helps. The extra HP, that helps. Like, yeah, the Pokemon is good. That's for sure. Dragapult. Dragapult, I love this Pokemon. I feel like if your Dragapult cracks out, he can literally provide like S tier level attack benefits, and sometimes he just loses in certain matchups to Pokemon like Glaceon and gets shut down the whole time. If you guys aren't doing well, he can hurt pretty badly as well. I think the Pokemon takes a lot of skill, like very weirdly skill dependent on who's playing him, so I'm going to put him at like a high B tier. I know people think he's not good at all, like literally CD, but I just don't think that's true. I played with enough good Dragapults who literally crack out, who do so well, and when he gets going, I think he has great last hit ability, and just can put so much damage on the field. You can use the Dragon Dance, and then you can use I can't remember, the flames on the ground. I'm just going to say it's Flamethrower for now, but I don't think it is. Regardless of what it is, the purple flames on the ground can be placed once. You can use Dragon Dance, and then you can use that moveset again right after it, because you get a free refresh after you use Dragon Dance. So it can low-key put out a ton of damage on the field, like a ton of damage. One of the few people who can really start Rayquaza and take no damage for starting Rayquaza, so that does help as well. So I think it has hidden abilities that are like pretty useful and just pretty good, but loses some matchups kind of badly. But it can actually fight defenders. I think that's an underrated thing. Like, certain Pokemon cannot fight defenders at all, like Skeezor, Sableye. A lot of Pokemon cannot actually get rid of defenders. This Pokemon can actually destroy defenders and actually take them off the map. So I think it's one of the better Pokemon. Urshifu. I have not seen people play this Pokemon all like that. Between both of the Urshifus, this Pokemon used to be a terrorist. I'm just going to put them both at low A, between the water style and then the normal, like, just strongman, stand and bang hand style. Like, the Pokemon just seems to be able to do good, has good damage, has good mobility. It's not broken like it used to be. I'm not sure exactly what the nerf is, but I just don't even see people play this Pokemon all like they used to anymore. But I'm still gonna rate it highly. just for now. I don't want to put it at B and then say like, oh yeah, it's just like I don't know. I just weirdly feel like it still can do what it used to do a little bit. And if if you're a skilled player, you could still use it to a very strong degree. You can definitely still rush down nodes and kind of get rid of people at an early phase in the game with its like a good jungle. So I'll give it some credit. I see clips of Zoroark all the time. Seems like a good speedster on that Absol level. I think can be better than Absol, but takes more skill. And because of that, I have to rate it lower, because I know that I don't remember exactly which moveset it is. That's one where you flick into certain directions and you continue to attack. That moveset, I've tried to use it a lot, and like I'm not good with that moveset. But I know that's like the max skill Cap Zoroark moveset, and like I've seen the clips. I see every day. I can't remember what the one guy's name is. It's like, oh man, I wish I remember what his name is. It's something USA. He uploads like montages of this Pokemon on Twitter, and he goes crazy with them like all the time. So it's a Japanese player, but he has USA in his name. But he definitely has shown me this Pokemon is like, he's better than like some of these B tiers I've seen, and I cannot put him on this level. I look at all these Pokemon, and from the clips I've seen, this Pokemon is definitely better than those Pokemon. Can be a team leader, but also takes mad skill, like definitely execution heavy. I cannot sleep on that enough. I can't disrespect that. Sableye, man, I'm gonna put this as my first like weirdly D tier Pokemon. I don't want to say that. I want to say he's just maybe low C, but man, I like wanted to love this Pokemon. I used to play him quite a bit, but I feel like sometimes you're taking up a normal, like a good spot if you play this Pokemon, and you don't like literally play perfect, like perfect. You need to play this Pokemon perfect. You need to be tricky. You might need to invade. You need to, if you play Confuse Ray, you better not miss, and Confuse Ray is hella slow, so that's kind of a problem. Yeah, I feel like you need a deep understanding of this Pokemon, and even if you do, good luck, like, good luck, especially if you solo queue. Oh my goodness, man, like, because this Pokemon doesn't do damage. It does not do damage. Like, you gotta be so tricky, and you need to, it's a struggle. This Pokemon is legit a struggle, so good luck if you're playing him. I do like him, and I don't want to make people feel bad who do like playing him, but man, you gotta have some real understanding of how to be tricky and really clutch out and send the right people back in the final fight, and you can't mess it up, like, because they need to be facing in the right direction, they need to be looking at you and actually see your eyes. Yeah, he's not a free, like, by no means is he a free win or like a free assist type power like Mean Look is. Like, no way, no way, no way. It takes real understanding of how to be tricky and get it like value out of his moveset. Skeezor, I think in general is like is a low A Pokemon. He would literally, I feel like he beats every squishy in the game. Like any squishy at all, he could be under level. He could, if he runs into a level 13 like Chandelure or something and he's level 10, use the Unite move, destroy them, steal their level, get back in the game. He beats any squishy at all. He actually beats them because he has mobility, he can get in on them, and he can actually KO them and steal their level. So like steal a bunch of XP from them. So really, really good. But when he runs into a single Slowbro or Goodra, yo, he is not killing them. Like, the fight will be infinite. They'll fight back and forth infinitely because he won't be able to kill them, and they'll continuously get health from whatever they're doing. So he just, like, that's a problem. Like, that is a problem. That cannot be understated. He cannot kill a defender. He can't do it. So that matchup hurts him, but overall, like, there's still a lot of, not that many on a team. How many defenders are there? One usually at most, like usually just one. So he takes advantage of the Pokemon who've been jungling the whole time, can take their level and do good damage and really continuously get rid of them at any phase of the game. If he's behind level, he can still beat them. If he's ahead of them, he will beat them. So good Pokemon in my opinion. I feel like he's always been like that. He saw a buff a while ago, reduced his cooldown a bit, but I even think before that people just thought he sucked because they thought the bullet punches were like super weak, but no, that's not, like, the secret of this Pokemon is the the fact that he actually destroys every squishy in the game. Every single one. Can gobble them up in one instance of his kit. So underrated in that way, but I feel like people are kind of realizing that now, because I don't feel like they like talk trash about him anymore. Dodrio has always been the high skill disruptor, like the other Zoroark type. You need to just do the right thing with him. You really need to train in the ways of this Pokemon, because his move, the way he moves and plays the game, is unique to every other Pokemon in the entire game. Like, very, very, very unique. But he does what he's doing really well. I mean, he does great damage, and that Drill Peck can get rid of people so bad. They try to get rid of him, he just darts off, gets away, and it's like, oh my goodness, he made it away. Unite move, pretty good. Just need to know how to play him. You need to spend time training him, but absolutely does work. He does work. Let's get back around. Cramorant. Cramorant, I think, just hits hard secretly. People don't really play this Pokemon at all anymore. But if you play with a coordinated team, like if you have some Discord boys you're playing with and you guys like coordinate up together, I think this is one of the better Pokemon in B tier. Possibly even just low A. Maybe a little bit of, I want to say he's actually low A. Like, maybe he has a little trouble surviving a little bit, but I wouldn't even say so, like, because he's range-based. He's not in that point in the fight where, like, oh, he's just sacrificing his life. Surf hits really hard. The dive moveset hits well enough. Drill Peck hits well enough. He gets healing from it, can play weirdly evasive with those movesets. But, I mean, I have always used the Whirlwind moveset and Surf, and I feel like with a team, like, you use that with a Delphox, and, I mean, you use that with anyone. If you assist anyone who just needs a little bit of time to immobilize a Pokemon, and they can keep doing damage during that time, then I think this Pokemon is one of the good assist attack Pokemon, a bit like Pikachu in that way. Like, I think he's secretly good. People just don't really use him anymore because he's Season 1, but I don't want to underrate him. I think this Pokemon deserves some credit as to being pretty strong. Blastoise. I think this Pokemon's amazing. I really do. Like, top of A right here with Absol. Maybe even low S. Like, maybe. I think this Pokemon is really good, man. Like, I really want to say, like, low S. One of the better defenders. He can actually survive fights. Rapid Spin is so powerful, man. It is a great attacking moveset. You can destroy squishies. Like, he's a defender who can destroy squishies. Top 5 Unite move. Evolves early. Now with the buff of level 7, he actually can destroy mobs too, so he doesn't have to spend forever trying to get rid of mobs on the field and get his XP. He can rapid spin them to death and get rid of them with the water spell combination. Surf is good for fighting groups in the late game if you want to run that moveset. I think all his movesets are good. I think his stats are good. His Unite move is good. Yeah, I gotta give him a low S, man. I really do. Like, maybe he doesn't have ultra broken abilities like other top tier Pokemon, but like how Liquidation is the auto homing one tap moveset, how Mewtwo has that amazing Unite move, like, but I don't, oh man, like, I think this Pokemon's real good. Never sleep on this defender. Never, ever, 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 ever can you sleep on Blastoise. I mean, going into the shell gives you like hindrance protection, and you can kind of speed away. Yeah, I think this all around. There's mobility, there's power, there's defense. He's like, that's a good Pokemon. Scyther. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I gotta rate Scyther like a little low. I really do. I know no one plays this Pokemon anymore. Literally, like, no one plays it. But I think that's because of power creep alone. He is thin as hell. He gets crapped on hard sometimes in terms of, like, attack power against him. I think you need good execution to play him, so that's a different type of issue alone. You need good understanding of how squishy he is. He has to throw his entire body in there sometimes. Unite move takes a good understanding of how to use. You can't just click it and do nothing with it. You need to get value out of him, and he dies quickly, so you need to get that value quick and not panic, and I think that's an underrated like necessity that people don't mention. So I'm only putting him at high C because he's difficult to use. I think his abilities could allow him to play at like a good, almost like, hey, if you're a good Scyther, if you're gonna play at this level. If you're a great Scyther, you can play at this level. But I think the power creep alone in the game makes him hard to get that good value out of. So I gotta give him a high C. I really do. I know, I feel like that one's controversial, but it's not all his fault. I think it's just the other Pokemon in the game make it hard for him to play the game after a certain point. Pikachu, I actually love this Pokemon and think he's one of the, like, I think this Pokemon's actually amazing. I really do. I really, really do. I think he's better than B tier. I think in the early game, he's insane. That Electro Web helps you get a good KO to start you guys off on the right foot. You know, get that team morale up, get a good KO. Everyone's feeling nice off that. I never run the Volt Tackle moveset. I'm all about the Thunderbolt, where you got, or whatever, it's Thunder Shock or Thunderbolt, the one where you get the stun, and then you put the thunder on their head. I feel like he can actually fight, like, all different types of Pokemon, and it's all from, like, a disgusting range. His range is so good. Terrible auto attack, you know, very weak auto attack, but I think his Unite move is great, like, pretty good. He can really show his presence in the final fight. He has stuns, which helps so many Pokemon. You have a Tyranitar on your team, he can stun, help the Tyranitar getting close, help them, like, finish the fight and start getting that type of damage. He helps Pokemon who need to get that melee damage. Dragonite is using, I forget what the moveset is called, the one where he turns red. It's one of my favorite movesets. I'm mad I forget what it's called. But he turns red, slams down, and starts hitting everyone. I think, like, Pikachu's on your team, he only helps, like, he's a good assist type attacker like Cramorant, but I think his stun is even easier to land than Cramorant, and he has, like, even better range, and he has a better Unite move because he can move during it, and he can instant combo some people to death. Like, hey, there's a level 15 Cinderace on their team in the final fight, he stuns them, Thunder Unite move, poof, he's hitting everyone along with the person he intended to hit, does good damage to them. So I think that makes him very, very strong. I really do love Pikachu. Mew, I don't know. No, I don't want to say I don't know. I mean, people who I've seen people just do well with Mew's Beam moveset. Like, he shreds mobs, he shreds people. He has that little move where it, like, shoots and follows someone for, like, a good chunk of damage, or, like, a final hit. A good Unite move that makes him go invulnerable. Mew, no, I can't even say, like, a sleeper Pokemon. I feel like people obviously show that this Pokemon's good consistently. You do see him around. Like, you see him around in ladder all the time. He's good. I know he just requires a bit of skill with the whole move switching thing, but Mew is definitely strong. Yeah, that's all. I never really played Mew, so I don't know the intricacies of it, but there's a lot of times where, like, ooh, Mew hits hard, and I hear that mass, like, it hits so hard, hits a bunch of mobs, hits you, that Solar Beam, it's just another good, like, it's a good Solar Beam Pokemon. That's good enough. Like, does good damage, has good range, and has good, like, utility in how he does things. Definitely good Pokemon. Tyranitar is, I want to say, is like a low A, because he really struggles between levels 1 through 8 to the point he's almost feeding the other team, like, almost, especially if there's a Tyranitar on your team who's an idiot, who keeps dying off cooldown, who's not going to get that last mob so he can turn into level 9, and even then getting a mob can just be hard for Tyranitar. Like, he's not a good jungler because he needs 9, and you're not necessarily granted 9 from doing the jungle in the first 2 rotations. So but with the right assist, like I'm saying, with, like, an Umbreon or a Pikachu, or maybe a Comfey or a Clefable, someone to just give him that extra push so he can get along the way, then I think the Pokemon is good. Needs a bit of a stun helper, but once again, the Pokemon can be good, especially in the final fight where things get clustered. The Pokemon definitely benefits from everyone being close together like that. So he struggles to, like, start that opening, but if the opening is started for him, definitely 100% viable. But if you play this Pokemon poorly, then it literally falls to this level. Not even joking. If you play this Pokemon poorly, you are hurting your team to the maximum. You gotta have a good understanding of how mobile this Pokemon isn't, so you can make sure you make the right moves. Buzzwole, I feel like if you face a Buzzwole who's ahead, Leech Life is so insane, it hurts. He punches you up in the air and just sucks you dry after like whatever moves that he's running. If he punches you up in the sky, he's hurting. It's like you're taken out of the fight for a second. If you are then if you're drained with Leech Life, like that hurts just as much. The Pokemon just has a weirdly pretty good moveset. I know he has to get in deep to actually like to implement his abilities, but man, the Pokemon is like it's a good Pokemon. I know he started off rough when he first came out, but I could kind of see potential in him way back then, and I feel like that has definitely come to fruition. Pokemon does what it needs to do. Yeah, I think this Pokemon's really good. One of the better teammates when you guys get going. And yeah, that Leech Life, like, oh my goodness, you may think you're beating him and he starts sucking you dry. Ugh, it's painful. Yeah, it's super painful. I think it's pretty good. Glaceon got a buff to the Ice Shard moveset pretty recently. I've used him, and I feel like a couple seasons ago it was like literally worst Pokemon in the game. I used him recently and had a great game. I feel like it's really good. I feel like if you run this Pokemon with some attack speed emblems, you just get shooting down, you build up your stacks, and then you click. It's feeling a bit like Inteleon, you know, but it can be a little hard to build up the stacks if you guys aren't in a good place in the game, because it's hard to get close and then not die in the time you're trying to build up those stacks. But that level 4 evolution is always an amazing thing. You can't undersell that. That's one of the best traits in the game. You're evolving early, so you're showing your presence in lane early on. So yeah, I'm gonna say the buff definitely helped the Pokemon get out of the trenches from like where it was. I feel like was like down there last season. I feel like it's up here right with its brother sister Leafeon, but I feel like it does better in the late game than Leafeon does because it doesn't have to give itself up. So yeah, good Pokemon. Don't feel bad about playing it. Delphox. Delphox is a high skill type Pokemon. I think that the Fire Spin is actually, if you want to run Fire Spin, people call that the meme moveset. Personally, that's the moveset I love because it just assists your team. If you run that moveset with Cramorant and Whirlwind as well, it actually like puts people in an endless one-tap spin of death. So I actually think if this Pokemon is put in the right comp with other Pokemon that cause stun, then it's actually amazing if you run the main moveset, and then if you have skill and you can run the Mystic Fire moveset, then that makes the Pokemon be able to 1v5 if you're good. Obviously, I know people have seen the content creators, I think his name is Scolded, he has mained this Pokemon for forever, probably the best Delphox, and has shown, like, I've just seen too many times where this Pokemon has 1v5'd with a good Mystic Fire dance back, Mystic Fire, just good resets. And yo, the Unite move on this Pokemon is dirty, like dirty. Oh man, you cause a lot of damage. If people don't respect the place that this is placed, like, yeah, man, this Unite move is really good, like really good. If I'm to put some order to it, actually, now that I say that, like, it's up here with one of the better. Like, I hate having so many. I don't want to say I hate having so many Pokemon in A tier. I think that, yeah, underrated, very strong, very strong. Espeon. I think Espeon is a high B tier. I don't think it's A tier anymore. I think its Unite move kind of isn't amazing all like that. It has like a good little, like, you know, because of the whole lift and pushback, but it does have to be in the middle of people and needs right placement for that. But I think because of the startup of Psyshock, that it's like not amazing, and I can't remember the other moveset where it flings the little purple things. I think it's Sacred Power. I can't remember what it's called. I don't want to say Sacred Power. I can't remember. Maybe that's what it is. But it is not, like, I've never liked that moveset. I don't like tickle homing movesets. I think Psyshock has always been the main moveset you're supposed to use. If it hits, good job. But I think that people need to be skilled when using this Pokemon, and you need to be considerate of its squishiness. It just lacks mobility. That's all. It lacks mobility when people are hitting harder every day, and I feel like there's another good set of range moves that can kind of hurt it. Definitely still good Pokemon. Like, if I was really feeling it, like maybe bottom A, top of B. It's just one of those Pokemon right in between there. Play it well, then you're playing at A tier. If you're just playing like average level, you're just gonna play at B. So I'm gonna place at the top of B. Azumarill. I feel like this is sleeper amazing Unite move because it can just target someone and just destroy them. Like, hey, you're squishy in the late game. Oh, I targeted you, you're dead. Ha 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 ha. Like, you're dead. And in the laning phase, good Pokemon, Aqua Tail hurts really badly. So, yeah, I just feel like the Pokemon can hit you redunculously hard at times. Has a bit of, like, actually scales decently in the late game. Yeah, and also the healing of the things that spin around you, Whirlpool, the healing on that, and just fightability with that in general, pretty good. Yeah, I think this is a good Pokemon, a good kit, and I think the stats scale decently for a late game Pokemon to, like, if you just one-trick this Pokemon, it's not a bad one-trick at all. Something to lean on. Duraludon, I think takes, like, a Duraludon specialist. I'm not sure why. I guess because it has a lot of rooting. Like, you need to understand what you're doing to yourself when you're standing in one spot when you're playing this Pokemon if you want to get value out of it. And there's a lot of Pokemon that will just literally destroy you for standing still. Like, if a Gengar sees you, boom, KO. If almost any of these Pokemon, even in B tier, see you standing still doing your moveset, then it's like boom KO for you. So you really have to have some deep understanding of this Pokemon and what effects rooting yourself will have on you. Good attack power, nice, like I'm saying, nice damage at a good range, but rooting yourself in this meta with so much, like, and I look at the top tiers up here, they would, oh my goodness, Duraludon would be looking like a good old snack to them, like good old snack. But can you still play him if you understand? Then yeah, I could say so. Hoopa, I feel like this is kind of like, people might not agree with this one, but personally, Hoopa, there's nothing like being able to return a team to base and them getting the entirety of all their HP back, and also being able to teleport them all to Rayquaza in the final fight. Being able, let's say you lose Rayquaza, being able to teleport them all to one node in the final fight for a last ditch effort push. Like I say, nothing like being able to return them back to base with good resets. So I think a skilled Hoopa is one of the ultimate team members, like, in the game. I feel like only as teams get better and better, like if you're playing at a tournament level, this would also be one of another, like, a great pick Pokemon, so I don't want to undersell it by any means. A bad Hoopa, literally it plays down here. Good Hoopa plays up here. And I feel like you only care about playing this Pokemon if you're even going to play good most of the time anyway. And Hyper Hoopa is very strong. Like, it puts up a fight. It's a support the whole game, and then it can turn into an attacker in the final fight as well, and like an almost 1v5. So that's a good Pokemon for sure. Aegislash. A skilled Aegislash is playing right up here with the best of them. Like, the best of them. A skilled Aegislash is playing right up here. Like, made sure it saved all its stocks, does good damage, can get a good last hit. A bad Aegislash playing down here, but I'm saying a good one is playing up here. Saves up his stocks properly, gets last hits with the Unite move, missiles people down with when it's doing the shing 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 shing. Yeah, auto attack good, moves good. Yeah, just good Pokemon. You invest time in it. I do feel like it's good. I don't see too many people investing time in the Pokemon, but is Sword a good Pokemon? I truly think so. I think he's pretty good. Trevenant is a monster, man. Turn into level 5. Turn into level 5. After that point, like, everything you can, it's like, oh, we're doing, like, decent in lane. He turns into Trevenant. If you're facing this Pokemon, he can turn the tide on you so hard. Never sleep on the hammer. The leech, the horn leech, is deadly. Pushing you into the push into Bam Bam. You're stunned for a redunculous amount of time. The stun is so long, the damage is hefty, and he's healing himself. He is a great defender. I love seeing a Trevenant on my team. I hate fighting against him. There's no way around it. This is a great defender. An attack type defender like Crustle, who, man, I feel like having Crustle up here is kind of crazy now that I look at it, but like, is Crustle better than Trevenant? I don't think so. I think they're like around. I feel like they both generally fight in like the same type of fashion, but I think Trevenant's better because he gets the heals. I really do. I think that keeps him in the fight longer. Can do the AoE damage with his Unite move. Yeah, I think Trevenant is very, very lethal. Absolutely lethal. Serena. Now, people hate this Pokemon because she used to be amazing, and now they all say she sucks. I actually think I've been playing her quite a bit recently, and I've been actually trying to run Stomp, and yeah, I feel like Serena's not bad. Like, with the Grassy Glide and Stomp, I feel like the Pokemon's pretty good. I used to run Triple Axle all the time, and now I kind of don't like Triple Axle anymore. I just haven't felt like it was like, I feel like I try to use it and it just didn't feel right. But man, I run Grassy Glide. Like, Grassy Glide is so good to me because someone's trying to get away and you can just kick out and scoop them back in. Like, you just kick out and bam, they're back towards your team. And because of that, now they're back into danger. I feel like she's actually really good at assisting the team with that. Like, one move alone makes her pretty good. And then with that, like, I feel like when you build up the Majesty meter properly and you go to use Stomp, she can actually get rid of defenders. Like, it's not like she's an all-arounder or something who can't like do enough damage to get rid of a defender. I feel like she's pretty good. And then the Unite move, solos Squishy or something, like, honestly, if Mimikyu like jumps in on her, she can kind of counter that by pressing her Unite move and then getting all of her HP back. So not bad. Like, saying those things, I almost make her sound like better than she actually is, but I played her a lot recently and I feel like she's really consistent. Like, maybe I need to put more time into her. I used to play her a lot back in the day. I really loved her, and then she got really bad and everyone hated her, and I kind of followed suit with that. But recently, I've been feeling like this Pokemon is weirdly good and totally viable, like absolutely viable. Dragonite. Dragonite is so up and down for me, man. I can't remember what the moveset is called, where he slams on the ground and he's just slashing away. It does mass damage. I keep wanting to say it's Overheat. I don't think it's that. I just can't remember what it is. But that moveset does so much damage. I'm talking like, holy crap, you shred anything you're fighting. But if you run into a Ninetales and they push you back and you activated that move, now you're walking around for like 8 seconds looking for something to swing at and you're just too far away. Like, you'll just be a little too far away, and that alone is like so painful. So he's very up and down. You could be too far away from your targets, they can jump away from you. Attack power, one of the like top 5 attack power, can literally be so brutal, but if he gets stunned during that time, then it just gets all put to 0. If he's too far away from the target, it's all put to 0. So it's very volatile. It can be amazing. It's literally SSS attack power at times, but something goes wrong and you're going down here real fast, and you can be like, no, and this could be in the last fight. And like, value in the final fight cannot be understated. You need to be consistently showing up in the final fight to be able to do something. Like, Azumarill is going to consistently show up in the final fight because it can dive in on people with the Unite move and then press its moves. So that's where I feel like Dragonite, pretty good laning Pokemon, great attack power, but the moveset is volatile to say the least. Decidueye, I literally love this Pokemon. I could play him all day, every day. I love both movesets. Arrow is just so fun. Easily top 5 most fun Pokemon in the game. Arrow is so fun. Razor Leaf is incredible to me. If you play with a Blissey and they use Helping Hand, Razor Leaf is incredible. I actually dominated the Mewtwo season with that. I actually did incredible when my friend ran Blissey. He would just boost me. We would destroy things. He can solo Rayquaza with... Sometimes if there's a fight at Reggie and 2 minutes hit and everyone's fighting at the bottom Reggie, I'll just run up to Rayquaza and solo myself if I'm running Razor Leaf. Gets it done in like 8 seconds with X attack to increase his attack speed out anymore. You run attack speed boost with this Pokemon, Razor Leaf is just going insane. But I feel like that's only with a supporter, because if things are like, you guys haven't had a good game and you're trying to show up at the final fight and you're running that moveset, he presses Razor Leaf, he gets 2 flings of the, like, 1, 2, someone sees him and they just get rid of him. There's no way around it. He's not going to be able to get away from them. A teleport, eject's not going to be enough, X speed's not going to be enough. There's always going to be something that's just going to instantly kill you, like 90% of the time if you're playing Decidueye in the end game, regardless of what you're doing. You start his Unite move, and if you're not really far away, and if they start running up to you, while your Unite move is going, you just know you're dead. So this Pokemon just dies. There's almost no way around it. He just dies. But I think the moves are great. Arrow is amazing. Where it does a chunk of damage. You can always be dramatically far away. And Razor Leaf, I feel like, is underratedly goated. Like, it does so much damage if you have the right setup, if you have a good supporter helping you, keeping you alive and watching your back. But if not, you just die. You just die. Greedent. No one really plays this Pokemon either. Like, not too much anymore, but I think it's super annoying. You like really struggle to get rid of this Pokemon. He can still infiltrate. Like, people don't love that strategy in ranked because it's a little hard to do, and you get yelled at by your team a lot if, like, what are you doing, and blah blah blah, whatever. They're always doing check it out. But I do think this Pokemon is, like, kind of good when, like, it can be used. I think this Pokemon can be used at a good level. I just feel like it takes a specialist. This Pokemon in particular takes people who have dedicated a lot of time to Greedent and makes them very, very, very hard to get rid of. Absolutely. Like, Bullet Seed can definitely fight down the squishies. The Unite move is good with giving you constant stacks. Good mobility, good healing. But I feel like people just choose kind of not to play this Pokemon. People have never loved Greedent. Even when he first joined the game, people were like, why is this Pokemon even put in the game? But I feel like if you're a good Greedent player, you're definitely doing work. Like, I don't want to undersell the Pokemon, and the fact that he can jungle invade, unlike a lot of other Pokemon, he can jungle invade and, like, not die for it. He doesn't have to sacrifice his life to jungle invade because he has heals and mobility. So I think he's pretty good. Sylveon, another Pokemon I think can be used in a very brain dead good way. Unite move heals you, keeps you in the fight. Like, Unite move healing you, people can jump in on you, and you can just press your Unite move and get your health back. Along with Mystical Fire being literally brain dead, actually brain dead, not kinda sorta, I mean 100% brain dead is really nice. It relieves a lot of mental stack, and all you have to do is fight to stay alive, and like move around to stay alive while you're causing automatic damage. Yeah, I think this Pokemon's really good. I have a clip recently where actually in the final fight I got like 8 kills because I just kept jumping around and mystical firing people, jump around mystical fire, jump around mystical fire, like over and over and over, and you just kept fighting them off Rayquaza the whole time because it was like, well, this is just all I need to do is focus on keeping my health alive and keep draining Kiss. Like, that's another thing I love about the Pokemon. It has draining Kiss built in, so you're just getting health back the whole time with that. So I think the attack is good, the damage is good, the mobility is good, the healing is good. Like, and the thing is, Mystical Fire is just brain dead. Hyper Voice, I think, is like the better, higher skill moveset, obviously. I don't use it much anymore. Once it took the nerf to the box shrinking to like ludicrously small, I kind of don't like how you really need to make sure you use it while you're facing the right direction first. Because what if someone just changes their direction? Then that kind of negates all your damage. But other than that, I think it's pretty good. Mamoswine? Mamo. I think Mamo is literally the most like mid of mid Pokemon, as he's always been. He's never been insane. He's never been, I guess actually in the beginning he wasn't too great. I just think he's weirdly mid. Like, I like his moveset, don't get me wrong. I love pouncing on people, stunning them, and then flipping them towards the team. I actually think with some characters, like if you run Machamp and there's a Mam on your team, you guys like kind of do what I call the slam bros. You just slam people back to back. It's actually amazing. Like, it's actually really, 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 really good. But that's only one team comp that I know like really, 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 really benefits Mamo. I think he's just a little hard to always get value out of. I think Swinub is cracked in the early game, like absolutely cracked. But I think Mamo struggles as things move up. He's a big target. Like, people see him and they just want to get rid of him. He's a big target. Doesn't necessarily... He struggles because he doesn't have healing. That's his main thing, is he struggles really badly because he doesn't have... He's not Trevenant, and his speed is not that of Crustles. So one wrong move with this kit can just have you out there waddling around. You could be a big waddle boy, and just be walking around a big brown target ready to get slapped over and over and over. That's definitely a big problem with Mamo. But viable nonetheless, so I'm not gonna say he's terrible, but you got it. You're gonna, if you miss your moves, you're a Waddle Boy. That kind of sucks. Clefable, great assistant. Like, I feel like great assistant up there with other like good healers up there. Like, I mean, with around the Pikachu type, where it's like, if you just stand next to a team leader, if Clefable's assisting any of the Mewtwo's, yeah, just any of like, just any leader Pokemon, any Dragonite, Zacian, any Pokemon like that, like that healing, that team healing, it doesn't even matter. Like if there's like Cinderace standing behind her and there's a good like all arounder standing in front of her, she just pumps them, just pump, heal, and that is all she needs to do, and that literally is amazing. Like it just keeps them up going hard, and they get to keep putting pressure on you when you are struggling to get rid of anything that they're doing at all. She just makes it a struggle to, she stands around the right people, she really just pumps them. That's it, and that's all it takes. Like, that's why I think she's kind of better than where is it, better than Eldegoss. I don't even see where I put Eldegoss. I'll put Eldegoss in like B, because yeah, I just like this, I think, is like Clefable has the healing that I wish Eldegoss had. I wish Eldegoss could just stand around people and pump them in the way that Clefable does, but that's not the case. Ninetales, I literally think wins matchups. Like, wins matchups, dude. Don't ever sleep on Ninetales. Just, a lot of the melee Pokemon, she will just push away and say, get the hell away from me. Get away. You're not even going to get close to me. You thought you were going to get close to me? No, I'm going to hit you so hard with this Blizzard and this Ice Wall and whatever it is. Just, I'm going to hit you so hard for even trying to get close to me. Now you're half health, and now you're like contemplating what you should do next. You're under half health. Like, you're like 30-40%. What are you going to do next? How are you going to survive here? I think Ninetales just makes some characters like really, really hard to play. Like, she really makes it hard for Garchomp to get moves done. Like, you need to be sneaky around Ninetales to be able to get rid of her, or you need range. Like, Mr. Mime wouldn't be able to like get his game plan going around her. I feel like Chandelure would struggle. I feel like Mamo would struggle. I feel like even even if you have mobility like Dragapult or something, if she just sees you in the right time, man, she's gonna make it hard for you to play. I'd absolutely think that, yeah, Ninetales is just a good Pokemon. I think Wiggly is not that great. I don't know, man. I don't see anyone doing work with Wiggly. I don't want to say she's horrible, but I don't see anyone doing work with this Pokemon. And then I try and play her, and like rollout still feels like a bit like a gimmick. There's not enough places on the map where it allows you to one bounce people to death. Like, you can't like just like bam back and forth. There's just not that many places where rollout is like brokenly good. I feel like I have not ran Sing in a while. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Wiggly is not that great. The Unite move, I barely even know what the Unite move does. Pretty sure it gives shields, and for some reason I never seem to get proper value out of it. Maybe because I'm just not having good range. I'm not in good ranges of people. I think the Pokemon is just not that good. Yeah, like double slap, whatever. Yeah, I don't think Wiggly's that great. Slowbro, Slow Breezy. Just like, this guy's the defender of all defenders, man. Like, people just pick him and he just stalls the game. I feel like he's just he's a walking punching bag who just doesn't die quickly. He doesn't do that much damage. People shoot at him, he doesn't die quickly, he amnesias his health back, like he just forgot what happened to him, he forgot that he took damage, and then like, hey, and his Unite move is goated. Like, let's never disrespect that. If he didn't have his Unite move the way he did, he might be like, he would be like around here because he'd still be a good punching bag. But his Unite move is like big goat, big goat, man. Take somebody out of the fight the entire time for all of their existence. He is, yeah, Unite. That's all I have to say about him. Unite move, big goat Unite move. Well, speaking of goated Unite moves, Machamp would be also another Pokemon who's like literally CB. Like, yeah, I would say like literally like around this level if he was. But his Unite move, oh my god. This Unite move is so good. It will embarrass you in the late game if you mess up. If you don't make sure, like, you get hit by this in the Rayquaza fight, you lost. If 2 people get caught in this Unite move in the final fight, you lost. This Unite move will embarrass you, no matter what character you picked. I don't care if you're Blastoise, if you're Lapras, Crustle, the tankiest mons in the game, Goodra. This Unite move will embarrass you. Hardcore. Punch, 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 punch. You're fried, demolished, sent to 100 to 0, and getting pushed the entire time. You will not counterplay it because you are getting pushed. You will not heal yourself because you are getting pushed. You are taking the damage and going to the hospital. So I don't think his like overall kit is like something to fear, but his Unite move, you're gonna hurt, buddy. You're gonna really, really hurt. And don't let yourself get hit when it matters the most, because now you're in a 30-second timer and they're closing out the game, all because you didn't dodge this move. Blissey. I think Blissey is just another, one of the, I would have to say, like, this is the quintessential healer. Like, this is the in-fight healer who I don't see too many people do the helping hand moveset, but the Unite move is great. It literally like hard keeps someone up, can cause good damage to a stack of people if you get the good like line bump right, a nice bowling ball pin knockdown. Just keeps the teammate up, keeps anyone up like during any like lane fight or anything like that. And I've seen this Pokemon clutch so many Rayquazas that it's like, it kind of used to be a meme, but I just see it happen all the time in so many clips. So it has like weird Rayquaza clutch ability. It's happened in tournament, for a bunch of, just so many times. It's happened in tournament. I see it happening on ladder. It is a great assist Pokemon to the maximum. Personally, I think the helping hand moveset with Pokemon like Decidueye or Garchomp in so many scenarios just boost their attack speed to unparalleledly strong levels, like really, 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 really strong. And just the Egg Toss for just heals in general, if that's the moveset you want to run, no one has a problem with with getting direct heals. That's always nice. Like the right teammate getting those free pumps, keeping them like another leader Pokemon getting pumped up, it's no problem. Like that's always going to be a good thing for people. So I think the Pokemon's pretty good. Alright guys, I hope this list didn't piss anyone off, and if it did, tell me what is completely wrong with it. Tell me if you think I was completely wrong about Eldegoss or Duraludon or Gardevoir or Lapras, whoever you think is my Caesar take stupid, whatever, blah blah blah. But yeah, definitely let me know down in the comments, and if you like the list, if you enjoy just watching tier list videos or any Pokemon Unite content, definitely sub and like the video. Alright, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.